I basically started off doing a course in high school that was a drafting course. And one of the projects was to find out how a plastic part was made. And that's the first time that I ever heard the word mold maker. People actually make these metal tools that can make millions and millions of parts out of plastic. And I was just absolutely astonished that I could cut metal. To me, that just blew my mind. I went to Skills Ontario for precision machining. So I was working on the mills and I was working on the lathes, and I was the first girl to ever win precision machining in Ontario. So I represented Ontario in Skills Canada, and I ended up getting a silver medal there. And it was an incredible experience because, first of all, it was an absolute honor to be chosen to represent my company in Skills Ontario. In the group that I was working in, that was a really high profile ask for me to go to Skills Ontario, and I had huge support. I was given the time to practice and I was coached. And when I went to nationals and represented Ontario, it was just this huge sense of pride and this huge sense of feeling like I have found my place, which was pretty amazing. Being in that kind of national setting and getting second place in Canada was a huge sense of accomplishment. That accomplishment is something that I can talk about, and it helped me get across the message that I'm passionate about what I do. A lot of times skills are looked at as something that's kind of a secondary option. Everyone was kind of shocked that I'm going into the trades. So for me then to come out of Skills Ontario and then out of Skills Canada and be like, guys, like, I love this stuff, right? And this is where I want to be. My personal highlight was to be invited to the medaling ceremony for Skills Ontario. And the person sitting next to me was the person who won the prior year. And so we had a bit of a moment where when they called third place and then they called second place and they didn't call me, we had this look between us like, yeah, I'm on top, and it was the most amazing feeling. My very first instructor, Chris Doucette, he was amazing and so open with showing me everything that I needed to learn. Once I did go to Skills Ontario, I had Joe Sabalj mentoring me, going through how to do things faster, how to do things more accurately, how to plan out exactly what I'm going to do so I can get the job done in the limited time during the competition. And that mentorship and that coaching that happened didn't only serve me for Skills Ontario or Skills Canada, but it served me at work because these are the things that I would be doing at work. So it was amazing to kind of get that jump ahead because I was competing. If you asked me when I was 17, if I thought that doing a mold making apprenticeship would get me to be an associate dean at one of Ontario's greatest colleges, I would have never thought that would happen. And the only reason that I am here is because I did my apprenticeship, I went through Skills, I competed, I won, and it just felt like a huge accomplishment. After my experience at Skills Ontario and then at Skills Canada, I graduated with a mechanical engineering degree. During that time, I had different opportunities that all came about purely because I was a mold maker prior to that, and I circled back and came back to Sheridan as a professor. Obviously you can't teach a trade that you've never apprenticed in, so getting back to that, I was able to become a professor. I was hired on full-time, and now I'm associate dean as I stepped into a role seconded out of my professorship. So my day-to-day these days, I basically work with all of the trades at the Magna School for Skilled Trades, and I oversee welders, I oversee millwrights, tool and die makers, general machinists, electricians, plumbers. I do a lot of interaction with faculty, I do hiring, I'm in part of the strategic plans for Sheridan College and executing on those plans. So if you do have interest in a trade and you are passionate about it, that you persevere and push forward and do that apprenticeship. And whether you medal or don't medal, you're going to have a life-changing experience at Skills Ontario or Skills Canada, and that's something that you're going to be able to keep in your memory and keep on your resume for the rest of your life.